I know.
Let me shake up my completely adult yop drink here.
Oh shit! I haven't had a yop in years.
Dude, every time I go grocery shopping, I pass yop and I'm like, And then every once in a while, I just give in and get one. And today was one of those days where I was just like, you know what? I'm going to drink this little tiny drink of yogurt milk drink.
Happy op day, bro.
Yeah. Yops off. Yeah.
You're gonna get so sticky. Do you have another beverage? Because you're gonna be
dude,
pretty quick.
I'm already chalky. I'm already mucusy in the mouth. That's what makes good podcasting, when your mouth's really dry and people can hear your mouth noises. Then maybe we'll get some ASMR customers.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to hear the sweet sounds of Dale guzzling?
Let's have the weekly fucking Dale hates ASMR rant. I don't know. I don't care how people feel about Joe Rogan. If you like ASMR, don't talk to me. How's that sound? I don't care if you think Joe Rogan's racist or if he needs the label misinformation. If you like ASMR, we're not friends.
What
Except
if it's just
Sam Loudon?
What if it's ASMR. Just ASMR of people drinking yop specifically?
That is, I do like yop, so I'd have to accept it. Dude, you called it. I am getting so.
It's not a thirst quencher. That's for sure. But I love, like, to me, that's peak capitalism. Someone one day was just like, what if it was yogurt, but you could drink it?
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, fucking multi-million-dollar business came from that one idea.
People were probably like, what are we going to do with all this watery yogurt? It's ruined. And then
put it in a bottle.
Let's sell it to kids after they go swimming.
Yeah, or grown-ass men after they go bowling.
Because when I was a child, the only place I ever had yop was at the Salmon Arms Rec Center. We'd go swimming, and then they'd have a yop, and you'd like grab a yop for the bus ride home.
They sold yop at the rec center?
I believe so. That's the only place I ever had.
I mean, yeah, checks out. I believe it.
Yeah, it's funny because I went like 10 years without having any. And then, like I was saying before, I saw it at the grocery store. I was like, oh, shit, let's relive some childhood memories. And then I was like, wow, this does make your mouth chalky. Maybe I wasn't even awkward as a child. Maybe it was just yop mouth.
You couldn't force the words out through the thick coating of yogurt. Hey, internet, welcome to episode 198 of Outrage Factory, the podcast where we look at the things that made people mad online this week and explain why they're done for caring. I'm your co-host, Derek Bolin, and I'm joined today by our yogurt-coated former bowling champion, Dale DeRuiter.
Yes. Can I retroactively blame my failings at women in high school on yop?
Yeah.
Be like,
absolutely.
if I didn't drink yop through. Wait, what's worse? Me blaming it on yop or being a high school dude who just like that weirdo high school guy who drinks yop?
The guy wandering the halls, always like, yeah, I remember Dale. We never saw that guy without a bottle of yop in his hands. Like that was your whole trademark in high school.
Yeah, everybody's at Denny's drinking coffee, and I'm just drinking yops.
And if you had an embarrassing, premature incident with a girl in high school, you could be like, "Oh, it's just I yopped. I yopped on myself."
All this yop. Be like, yeah, that's yop.
That's just a yop stain.
Don't worry about it.
Don't ask questions.
I spill yop on my crotch all the time.
Outside of yop, what's going on, Dale? How's your week
there's
been?
Only two things happening in the world right now, and that is the Freedom Convoy and Joe Rogan.
I want to give a huge fucking shout out to anyone who lives in a major Canadian city and this weekend just like went about their lives and just did like normal person shit and didn't get involved in like this tribal warfare on one side, which is the Freedom Convoy, or the other side, which was the counter protest trying to block the Freedom Convoy. because I'm just like, I'm tapped out on this shit. I
Oh,
can't do
dude.
the warring factions things anymore. And like, I keep seeing stuff on the internet. Shocker.
The internet.
Where it's like, where everyone's like, oh, if you're a, if you're in the Freedom Convoy, you're a fucking Nazi. And the people in the Freedom Convoy being like, we have fucking millions of people protesting to like end the mandates and all this. And like, neither one of these sides, like, both of you shut the fuck up and just like, let's find like, here's the thing is that both of these sides have one thing in common in that they're both like just sick of COVID shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have different ideas and different values on like how to get back to normalcy. But we have that like shared, like everyone's fucking frustrated with this whole situation and everyone wants life to go back to normal. And to the counter convoy people, their solution is like everyone gets vaccinated and everyone follows the health mandates and we'll get out of this. And to the Freedom Convoy people, it's we'll just yell at the government until they change their minds. But like, let's focus on that shared commonality instead of just like, when is this going to end? I'm fucking sick of it.
COVID or the COVID convoy?
Both, all of it. The COVID convoy and now the counter protests and like,
okay.
Go ahead.
I want to say one thing in defense
of
the COVID convoy. And this is going to make me sound like a dickhead because it appealed to my inner dickhead. Because last night I was like fucking 10 and I was fucking around and I like was on TikTok and then I saw a live stream from Ottawa and it was just horns blaring and then you could hear like
I would lose my fucking mind.
You could hear like techno music. So it was like a steady horn with techno music. And I was like, wait, that kind of sounds okay together. And then people were dancing, techno dancing to the horns of the trucks. And I was like, all right, everybody has a little inner dickhead streak and that appeals to mine. Just like doing the most obnoxious noise and then dancing to it like it's music. I'd just be like, you don't like this song? This is my favorite song. Yeah. So like I saw that and I was like,
I've seen videos of like the chorus of truck horns coming out of fucking downtown Ottawa. And I'm like, I don't know how people who live in Ottawa aren't just like showing up like ready to kill a motherfucker, because I hear like I live next door to some university students and God. I'll hear like bass, like occasional bass music, and I want to kill someone. So I can only imagine like those horns. I watch a video and I watch like 5 seconds of the video of the horns in Ottawa and I'm like, I cannot listen to this for longer than 5 seconds.
Anything like that. And I'm like, how am I still alive? Because early 20s Dale was fucking obnoxious. Like we would just play the penis game in public. And it's like now anytime I see or hear anybody making noise to like get attention for any reason, I was like, you shouldn't be allowed in our society.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
You should be cast away on an island somewhere. And I was like, fuck, I must have been so obnoxious. Or was it just like we had more acceptance of it? We didn't have the ongoing stream of relentless internet back then.
No one was more accepting of it. You were accepting of it because you were the one making the noise, and in any given situation you were the noisiest person. And
which is a feat because I hung out with you a lot and you are a very loud person too.
But that's the thing, I love my noise and I can tolerate your noise, but other people's noise, fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Go the fuck away. Other people's
noise, inner circle noise, you might as well be dead.
You fucking die. Die if you want to make any noise at all. It should be like The Quiet Place, but the only two people who get to make noise are wait, is that what it was called? A Quiet Place? The Quiet Place?
Yeah. So it's like the aliens can't hear you. Oh my God. How much better of a movie would that have been if for some reason the aliens couldn't hear you or me? And then it's like that guy from The Office creeping on the sand by the railway tracks. And then it's just me and you being dickheads. And then
there's a guy over here.
And then the aliens don't hear us. And they're just like, oh. And then they're like, shut up. And then the aliens like perk up. And I'm like, you guys better shut up. The aliens just heard you.
Fuck. It would have been better. Anyway, there was a Freedom Convoy.
Oh, my other hero from the opposite side, that guy in the blue parka who just lost his shit and screamed at them. Like, did you see that video of this guy in like a blue jacket? He's just like screaming at the convoy. He's like, it's not a federal thing, it's a provincial thing. And he's just yelling. And like everybody's like, the like Freedom Convoy people are trying to own him, being like, look how crazy these lefties are. Ha ha ha. And I was like, I love that guy. Just because he just lost all his shit and he's like full on scream yelling in the middle of the road. And I'm like, that's my new hero. I want to see. I like if that guy had a TikTok and it was just him screaming about random stuff, I'd watch it.
I mean,
Be
yeah,
like,
they're
Blue Parka Guy podcast, just him screaming about politics.
there were some quality highlights that came out of the counter protest in Vancouver yesterday. I was watching there was like a Reddit like mega thread where people were posting updates and like coordinating where they were going to go to block the truckers. There was one where one of the Freedom Convoy protesters was like aggressively like, because people kept blocking them with their bikes or whatever. And there was one where a guy in a truck, while he's live streaming, is like gunning it towards these people who have bikes in front of him. And he's like, I think he like clipped one, but the guy in the passenger seat starts yelling at him, being like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're live streaming right now. We just like recorded our own crime being committed. Yeah, I don't like, just stop.
I mean,
stop protesting.
I like, as far as like, I'm not even going to get into like, should you be allowed to protest or whatever? Like, you got to realize you made your point. Like, everybody knows what happened. Ottawa just declared a state of emergency. So point proven.
Point made.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that's it.
Are they going to end them? I mean, Alberta said that they were going to get rid of all their mandates.
So they're going to end them, but they're going to do them on like their own terms. And like we see a lot of countries are walking back their mandates right now anyways, and like loosening things up. And like Canada and BC, like I have to wonder if these people are doing more harm than good, because there's probably some policy waiting to be passed right now where they're like, okay, we're going to like go back to normal. And all the people in Ottawa who have been listening to these horns for a solid fucking week are like, maybe we'll keep them around for a bit longer just to piss these people off. Because,
I mean, I wouldn't even hold it against them if they're petty. Like, I remember seeing an article last week. I think it was like something about how Bonnie Henry's going to kind of move into the stage of living with COVID as an endemic instead of a pandemic. And then the headline was like, but not because of the trucker convoy. Like, I mean, they had to make sure that nobody thinks it's happening because of that.
The trucker convoy will take responsibility for it, and or credit for it. And people who support the trucker convoy will believe that it's because of the trucker convoy, and people who don't support the trucker convoy will believe that it's not because of the trucker convoy. And it doesn't fucking matter.
I mean,
whatever
lets me be lazier, I'm all for. Like, if I'm not going to go out and actually get COVID, and then I would rather just not have to pull my wallet out every time I go somewhere to show my thing. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Or actually, I kind of just, the shitty thing is the mask mandate is, to me, in my opinion, is the thing that's done the most good. And it's also the one thing I just don't want to wear a mask at work. Like, I don't mind wearing it around the house, or not around the house, but like going through the building or going to the mall or shopping or whatever. It's just when I'm at work and I'm like fucking reaching into something and laboring, and then I have this mask like on my face, it's just really annoying.
I can't fucking wait for that. Like, there was that brief blip in like this last summer where they were like, we're relaxing mask mandates, and everyone was like, if you don't keep wearing a mask, you're irresponsible. And I was like, mask going in the trash. And and there was like a solid couple weeks where you could just like walk into places without masks, and it was dope. And that was my favorite part. Like, I can't fucking wait to get rid of the masks.
Oh yeah. And it was like funny too, because it's like everybody's like, well, I feel like even if they get rid of the mask thing, people will still wear their mask out of habit and safety. But I was like never again. And I didn't throw all my masks away because they're like ones I ordered. And I was like, I feel kind of bad just ordering these masks. So it's a good thing I didn't throw them away.
Yeah. Because now it's I had to go out and buy new ones.
Yeah.
I had so many masks.
The thing I don't get it. Like going back to this like state of emergency thing, I was like, oh shit, is this like going to be like a conspiracy tingly thing where it's like they call the state of emergency and now they have all these like weirdo, like we can do this to you and stuff. But I read about it and they're like, yeah, the police don't have any more rules or anything we can do with the state of emergency. Basically, all it does is allow them to procure um items and stuff for the frontline workers and stuff. And I was like, then why wasn't this called the whole time? Like if the only thing a state of emergency does for Ottawa is make it so that they can procure items for safety and frontline workers, then why weren't they doing that the whole time? They basically were. There's like that's like that old Seinfeld joke when they're in the plane and they're like, all right, we're going to speed up to make up time. And they're like, why don't you just fly faster all the time? And it's like, it's the same thing. It's like, why aren't you just procuring more items for frontline workers all the time? Like, why do you need a state of emergency? Do you know what I mean?
Because doesn't my own voice was very loud in my ears.
Just
there.
caught you deep in the comments. I saw you like in the comments talking to Matt about welding, and I was like,
yeah, I'm talking
like,
to Matt about welding.
Yeah.
Isn't because the state of emergency just basically like gives them a blank check to be like, well, we could spend money on all these things that we should have been spending money on, but weren't because of whatever fucking reason. And like, I don't know. We like to tell ourselves fairy tales about like how this whole situation has like really highlighted the value of healthcare workers. And it's going to be like, do you remember, after 9/11 where there was like a solid like
2 weeks?
Well, no, there was probably a solid year where everyone was like, all cops and firefighters are heroes and they should be treated as such. And they're
that
totally
never stopped for
heroic.
me, Derek. I still think they're.
I know you still believe that they are worth more than the life.
Objectively worth more than a regular person's life.
But now it's like everyone just fucking hates cops. So it's like it's just a matter of time before we're like, oh fuck healthcare workers because I had to go wait 4 hours in a fucking hospital emergency room and it sucked and I fucking hate them.
Yeah, I love it's like, to me, I love healthcare workers, dentists, and mechanics all the same, because the only time I ever see them is when something's broken and they usually fix it, cost money, but whatever. So it's like I go to them when I need a problem solved and they solve it for me. So they're pretty much the best people ever. Like, yeah, I guess cops are the opposite where, well, they solve problems for you sometimes, but they make other problems for you.
They'll solve problems or they'll solve it. Wait, how am I trying to phrase this? You'll see cops if you're the problem and they're solving someone else's problem and you're the problem they're solving. I don't know if have you ever spoken to a police officer and over reporting a crime or damage and they've actually come back and been like, well, we caught the person that broke into your car. We solved your problem for you.
No.
That's never happened.
Well, I've only ever had my car broken in that I had to call the cops once, and I called them and they're like, and it was funny because it must have been some small town. They're like, thank you so much for reporting this. Even though it might not help catch whoever did it, it does help us gauge how much crime is happening in which neighborhoods.
It helps us when we go in for a budget request next year and we can say,
And this was when I lived in Surrey, and I was like, yeah, there's lots of crime in Surrey still, like there always has been. You're welcome for reimbursing that thing that everybody knew.
Okay. Anything else about the Freedom Convoy?
Is there anything else? Oh, the Freedom Convoy is like you were saying before when you gave shout out to everybody who didn't do anything and just went on with their life.
Yeah.
The Freedom Convoy is like having just the fact that that's happening is like having an abusive relative living with you and you walk on eggshells with around them, trying not to say the wrong thing. Because if you're in public and there's people around and you say Freedom Convoy, you're either going to get an earful from people who are pro or against it. And it's like, you didn't want either side of the opinion. You were just mentioning it in passing. Like it happened today at this bowling tournament I was at. And I looked up at the news and it said, oh, Ottawa claims a state of emergency. And so I was like, oh, that's crazy. A state of emergency. You don't see that all the time. And then one guy just flew in pro convoy and he was like, had loud voice going. And then this other guy flew in and he was like against the convoy. And I was like, just backed away. I was like,
I like how you were just objectively like, whoa, a state of emergency. That like, and here's something everyone should adopt in response to the Freedom Convoy. Don't care about it. Let the people protest. Peacefully. I want to add the horn shit is like, if someone leans on their horn that much, you are legally authorized to punch them in the mouth if it's disturbing your ability to live.
Remember when there was that whole thing like words are violence, when there was like this campaign, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, it was like a campaign to get people to stop like being mean and bullying to each other. They should just start like t-shirts that just say horns are violence.
Horns are like for real. There was what was it? Oh, the road rage incident I had was just because I like honked my horn at a guy.
Yeah.
And he like punched my window because I honked my horn at him. So he definitely thought that horns were violence. I think.
Oh yeah.
There's a.
I don't use my horn because it's not an annoying thing. Like when you honk someone in traffic, they're not like, oh thanks, I'll be better next time. They're like, ah. And you're like, that's the exact thing.
This is violence. I need to defend myself at all costs.
Yeah, I honk because I don't want to get out of my car and punch your car and hurt my hand. I would rather just honk and drive away.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I tried to do polite honks, just like a little like, pay fucking attention. Beep, beep, beep.
Dude, cars should come with 2 horns. There should be
aggressive horn.
Hey,
like
the light screen horn or you cut me off horn.
Yeah. I hope you fucking die horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, there's just loud and then me holding it.
Yeah. There should not be a, hey, let's make this thing work for 3 fucking days consecutively without stop because you're in a convoy fighting for freedom when you're already pretty much like you're free to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
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 I think we're done with the Freedom Convoy.
Okay. Was there any, I was surprised I didn't see more outrage coming out about the Olympics, but nobody, it doesn't seem like people are really paying attention to the Olympics this year.
I think
is that just me?
Nobody realizes they started yet.
Yeah, they start. Hey, everyone, the international athletic competition known as the Winter Olympics has started.
Yeah,
FYI.
The international amateur sporting event / sometimes professional, I guess.
I think it's professional for most, except for
no, it's
hockey.
supposed to be amateur, except for hockey, it was professional. But this year it's amateur because I guess it's still professional because KHL players and AHL. Are AHL players allowed to go? Or are they not allowed to go?
Because they're part of the NHL system. So
okay.
Which is like the easiest way to get me not to give a single fuck about the Olympics is to say NHL players can't take part. And I'm like, okay, like I do not care. I can't even tell you who the scrubs on the Canadian team are. And I'm sure they're fine or whatever, but I just don't give a shit.
Is Virtanen playing?
Who? Oh, yikes.
Yikes. I don't. The only person I know is playing is that Fu guy, the Chinese guy who refused an NHL contract and went to the KHL just so he could play in the Olympics because China's hosting. So I guess the government was like, if you don't come to the Olympics, we're killing your whole family.
We will murder your entire family.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I haven't really been an Olympics guy for a while. Like, especially now that everybody's uncabling or uncutting or what's it called when you get rid of cable and unplugging? No, that can't be it.
Cutting, just like cable cutting. Yeah.
You're right. Like everybody's doing that. And it's so nobody, I think these Olympics are going to be the least watched ones yet. Plus it's like China. So people are like, I don't really want to endorse that.
Don't they though?
Yeah. Wow. Have you been watching them?
What, the Olympics?
Yeah.
No, but I cable cut. I downloaded like the CBC app, but it's also like there is a notable time difference between China and here. So all the events start at like fucking 9 p.m. our time.
Oh,
and
can
end
you
at,
only watch them live?
like what? Well, no, but why would you like wake up and you can check? I've been checking the medal count every day, and like,
What's the medal count? That'd be good.
Canada has 2
Oh,
medals.
how many days have they gone?
Like three. Today's day 3, I think.
Oh, are they still in the scrub sports?
Well, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's all the shit that like, I mean, some of them are cool, but yeah, it's all like the like weird niche sports that you're just like, you dedicate your entire life to being good at. Like ski jumping is a great example because you're just like, where do you get the fucking opportunity to even practice this? And you like at some point in your like formative years, you were like, this is the sport. I'm gonna like fly down this ramp and jump through the air, and this is the sport I want to focus my entire life on achieving greatness in. Or like biathlon is another fucking weird, like, okay,
skiing. That one is secretly badass because you're
it's
like
cool
shooting and skiing. But I feel like I want to say is like, for like you said, ski jumping, I think that's something you find out you're going to the Olympics kind of by accident. Because it's like you ski, so you try out stuff. Right. You're like doing like the slalom, the moguls, and then you just like try ski jumping, and you're just like, oh, hey, I'm actually kind of good at this. And then someone's like, yeah, no, you're actually really good. You went real far. You should train for this. And then you're like, I guess. And then you're just like, go be a ski jumper. But there's got to be people too who are like, they see it as kind of like their only chance at Olympic greatness is to like get into some like little niche sport.
Some weird niche sport, yeah.
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 Yeah. It's, I don't know. But like, yeah, there weren't any like, I did see that like a lot of their, what was that? I was listening to a podcast about it. Like a lot of the major sponsors of the Olympics, like the major brands that do it, are like, you know, like Coca-Cola, like they have those fucking, they run like really inspirational Olympic ads every time the Olympics are on. And like they're still a sponsor this year, but they didn't run any ads, I think because of the bad optics of it being held in China.
Well, was there also any talk about canceling these Olympics? Because they just had the Summer Olympics last year, didn't they?
Yeah. And those were after being delayed for a year. No, I think that was part of the reason they like went ahead with it in China, because they were like, if there's a company or a country that will not fuck around with COVID and be able to like actually do this, it is China. And to their credit, they have been able to. No word on how many athletes have ended up in internment camps as of yet, but
like China was like, they found some COVID on a dragon fruit from Vietnam. So, and then they're just like, no more dragon fruits from Vietnam.
Ever.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just willing to fucking just drop the hammer and just say, no more than fucking that. We're not having an outbreak or anything. It's not like North America where it's like, we're like, maybe we should think about stopping international travel or doing this. China, they're just like, fuck, we're closed.
It's like there was a period early in the pandemic where like you could go and you could see how many like reported COVID cases were on international flights, and it was like 40 on this flight and 50 on this flight and 20 on this flight and 30 on this flight, and at no point were they like, we need to stop these flights. They were like, what can we do? These airlines need to make money.
Exactly.
Do
you want to talk about the barge?
Yes.
I thought we could hit the barge quickly before we start talking about Joe Rogan, so we don't go half hour
actually?
Freedom Convoy.
I mean, we cannot talk about Joe
we
Rogan
could not talk
anymore,
about Joe
unless-
Rogan. It's fine.
Like, I don't
Everybody
fucking care.
already knows how we feel. Like
Yeah.
I'm ride or die Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan could eat shit.
You've
as
always
far as
been
I'm
jealous
concerned.
of Joe Rogan because
Joe
he
Rogan-
takes my attention away from you.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, that is my major
It's like
problem with
when
him.
I
I'm
listen
like,
to Joe Rogan, you feel like I'm cheating on you.
I'm like, why doesn't Dale want to fuck me as badly as he wants to fuck Joe Rogan?
Is
It's
it
not
because
right.
I'm too tall?
It's not right. What?
Because Joe Rogan's only like 5'6" or something.
Is he really? That makes
Yeah, dude.
so much sense.
Yeah, he has mad small man
Little
syndrome.
short guy complex. What was the thing? The fucking barge thing. And this is going to be very like, hey, if you're in Vancouver, you'll know what we're talking about.
I feel like the world knows about the barge because it was just like started out as a joke, being like, that's funny. But like, I guess if there's like maybe Scott Donnelly, Scott Donnelly will know in Australia because he's a kid or he's up to the date on all the Vancouver stuff. Anyways, last year when there was like a big windstorm, a barge, I don't know what they call it, a tugboat barge. I don't know what's in it or if it's empty or whatever. It got washed ashore by the wind. And it's been there ever since, and they can't drag it out because it's like there's rocks piercing the bottom and they'll just rip it open and make a huge mess. So they finally this came out February 6th. Yeah. So today, like however months later, do you remember when that happened?
What? The
When
barge?
The barge actually got stuck.
Yeah, it was it was the atmosphere. It was the same fucking storm that like washed away all of our highways.
It was before that, wasn't it?
No, that was the exact same storm, I think.
No.
Was it not? Was that a different atmospheric river?
I thought it was before that. Because the atmospheric river was only like 2 or 3 months ago. And I feel like the barge has been there for like a year.
No.
Because they tried to get it loose. Here, I'm going to quickly Google it. Barge, English, Bay. Because I want to know how now that it's like.
Anyway, it's been there for a while. And it was stupidly like one of those things that like everyone glommed onto.
Here we go. Oh, no, wait. Fuck. Well, I think no. Is it only been since November?
Yeah. 100%.
Jesus Christ. It's only been there 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's not surprising.
Dude, it feels like it's been there a year. Of all the things that have happened since November that this got. So anyways, this barge that has only been there 3 months. And I thought it was a year because I'm dumb and I don't know how to tell time properly. Anyways, they're going to get rid of it by cutting it into pieces and taking the pieces away, which if you're like me, you're like, how did this take you 3 months to come up with that idea?
To like break it. Because I think like they were holding on to hope, like,
Yeah.
we're going to be able to disembarge this thing.
Hey.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we're gonna be able to like get it off the fucking rocks, and that is becoming apparent that that's just not gonna fucking.
Their previous attempts were hooking tugboats up to it and trying to yank it off, and they're like, well, that didn't work. Let's just fucking whatever.
What other options do we have? They should. I personally think they should hold on to it until the next celebration of light, and then pack it full of fucking fireworks and just explode it. As one of the countries can do it as part of their fireworks display.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Just shrapnel flying through the fucking crowd.
Oh yeah, back to the convoy. How much do you think people hate fireworks now?
Why are we going
set off at
back to the convoy?
Because you reminded me of fireworks, and I just remember that there's a whole bunch of.
Is the convoy setting off fireworks?
No, people at the convoy are setting off fireworks. I mean, it's just, like in Halloween, there's random fireworks, and people are like, "My dog's scared," and they get all sad.
I really like fireworks. So
yeah, me too. I mean, fireworks, I think, are man's greatest creation.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they just show the absolute hubris of man. Because they're like, we make the sky explode with
Just
noise
like
and color.
For no reason at all. You can
Yeah.
now explode. You can make colorful explosions in the sky for your own entertainment.
Yeah, they're like, these don't do anything good or accomplish anything, but they're really bright and they're fucking dope. And it's like, is there anybody who hates fireworks themselves? No, usually people hate the noise or the crowds that come with fireworks, but in general, fireworks are universally beloved, unless someone has like some deep childhood trauma linked to fireworks.
Well, I was going to say like PTSD from maybe like a war or something, which can sound similar to fireworks.
I would like to say technically that's not the fireworks. It's just what the fireworks are reminding them.
True. And they're probably like, oh, I wish I could enjoy these fucking awesome, colorful explosions in the sky, but I can't because of that fucking, I got bombed in that third world country.
Yeah.
Before
I was a soldier and I had to like go listen to live rounds and stuff, I used to really enjoy fireworks, and now not so much. The appeal has waned for me.
Yeah. I mean, if the convoy has fireworks and the anti-convoy people don't have fireworks, I think I'm gonna have to side with the convoy people now.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is new information has come to me that has shown that the Freedom Convoy is the superior protest. So
yeah,
let's get some freedom.
Fucking horn techno dancing and fireworks. Come on. I mean, you throw some artisanal donuts in there and I'm fucking all in.
They don't even have to be artisanal. Throw some fucking a 12-pack from Timmy's in there. And
yeah,
I'm in for that also. Oh my God. What are you looking for right now?
Right now, I'm looking at this Rudy Giuliani thing.
Oh, yeah. Can you explain this to me? He was on The Masked Singer?
Yes. Which is a terrible idea.
Yeah, that's not.
At all. I was just reading it. Wait. Who puts on The Masked Singer? Is that Fox?
Yeah, no, NBC, I think. Okay. I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah. So the guy who
no, it's Fox. You were right.
Yeah. So the guy who's a giant part of the January 6th thing that people haven't shut up about for like just over a year.
They're still going. Oh, by the way, did you see this? The Republican Party in the US, because I'm sure there's Republican parties elsewhere, officially came out saying that the January 6th event was acceptable political discourse, and they're trying to censure the two members of the Republicans who are like part of the bipartisan investigation committee or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, playing politics now, I can see how that makes sense, but there is no fucking way that doesn't come back to bite you in the ass next time the Republicans are in power. Like, if we're going to say that, okay, it's okay for people from the other political party to fucking storm the Capitol and make lawmakers cower in their offices, like, do you want to open that up and say that that is acceptable behavior?
Like, if Trump runs again and wins again, everybody should do January 6th again, and all of their signs should just say, this is okay. You said this was okay. We're just doing what you did. For the benefit of YouTube's fucking filters, I want to say that Dale does not actually mean that we should do a January 6th again. No. Huh? Please do not do January 6th, anybody of you. But but if you were going to, because it's accepted political discourse, feel free to use my suggestion for a sign that just says this is okay with a thumbs up. Or do this sign, be like, this is okay with an okay hand signal, because remember when that was all like the white power thing? The white power thing, yeah. And now is it just an okay thing, I guess? It better be. Oh, you know what else it is? It's also I was delighted to find out it's a big conspiracy thing too.
Oh Lord.
Because it's like one of them, does this look like a 6 to you? I can't tell if mine's backwards or not. Like
yes, that does look like a 6.
This one?
This one.
This one?
No, the other one.
This one?
That one. Yeah, that looks like a 6.
So apparently, if you're supposed to like hold it like this, so it looks like 6, 6, 6. So you're supposed to be like, "Hey guys, I'm a Satanist. What's up?"
Sign of the beast. Wow, that's
Sign
gonna
of the beast.
That's gonna really fuck the people who are both QAnon and alt-right, because like you want to trigger the libs, but you don't want to pledge fealty to Satan.
Yeah, exactly. It's also supposed to be like this whole Gnostic thing, which I don't really think we should get into on this podcast.
That I feel like that's more of a topic for the Dale show.
We were talking about that. That's how I was like, that's how I knew about that, was because in my research for the last Dale show episode that came up. Because that's an Illuminati hand signal.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently. I didn't know. Also going like, that's why you see people doing like this.
What about this? What about this one?
No, that just means you're a superhero.
Super Illuminati. That's me.
I don't even know if I could do that.
Put me on the Masked Singer. Put me on the Masked Singer like Rudy Giuliani.
Oh yeah, let's get back to what we were actually talking about. So, in the dumbest thing ever, I guess it's just because it's Fox and they're like, we got to double down on all our dumb ideas. They have Rudy Giuliani as a contestant on the Masked Singer, and when he pulls off his mask, two of the judges are just like, nope, fuck, and they left the stage. Ken Jeong and Alan Thicke.
Robin Thicke.
Oh, Robin Thicke?
Yeah.
Yeah,
who is he's problematic on his own.
Very problematic.
Is Alan Thicke dead?
I think Alan Thicke is dead.
Robin Thicke is problematic because A, he stole that song from Marvin Gaye, and B, apparently he's very problematic towards women.
He's a misogynist.
He is. Why do they even have him?
Women.
So that just shows that wow, Rudy Giuliani is too disgusting, even for
Robin Thicke.
For Robin Thicke.
Who, since it's on Fox, I don't know if being a misogynist hurt his cause to being a judge. They're like, you're a misogynist and you're a musical group performer guy thing. Perfect. Be a judge on our show.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
While we're talking about Ken Jeong, I want to say, have you watched Murderville on Netflix yet?
I started, but I can't. Okay.
Oh, you don't like improv.
No, wait. Keenan and Matt are both in the comments right now.
Yeah.
I fucking hate improv.
I thought you were gonna pander to them a little bit there.
You took it the other way. No.
Yeah.
No, please. Everybody in the future, if you want to have a TV show, don't do it improv. Write stuff down, like workshop it, and then take the funny parts and make it better. I tried watching Murderville because I was like, I love the guy who's in it. I can't remember his name. The guy from Arrested Development. Yeah, I love Will Arnett. Conan O'Brien's in the first episode. I'm like, oh, this will be good. So I turn it on, and there's like this disclaimer in the trailer. They're like, this is improv. Conan doesn't know what's going to happen. I was like, this is going to be terrible. And then it started, and then they got to the restaurant, and he's like, have some hot sauce. And
that was so fucking funny.
All right. And he's like, no, have some more hot sauce. And I was like, this is so improv, it's hurting. I can't.
Dude,
and they're like, no, hot sauce.
The next 20 minutes were just them feeding him hot sauce. They gave him so much hot sauce in that episode.
Uh-oh.
My wife is burning dinner. I'm going to mute myself for a second. Carry the podcast, Dale.
Talk about misogyny. Derek's fire alarm is like, oh, a girl's cooking. I'm going to go off.
I think it's off. We're good.
Did we just lose our best friends as our only fans when I said I didn't? Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, some of it was funny. Just the like going back to the hot sauce thing wasn't funny. But like Conan said something that was really
was funny. A lot of the guests were pretty funny and did a surprisingly good job. And like I like it in that it's not a traditional like, oh, we're just gonna stand on a fucking stage and do like whose line is it anyway shit. It's like it's actually filmed like a crime procedural.
Yeah.
But like,
give me a job.
yeah. Anyway,
now where am I going?
I like improv when it's done well, and I thought this was done pretty well.
Yeah, it's maybe I was a little hard on it. I don't know. I was also watching Reacher at the time, and I was like, I could just watch more Reacher instead of this. Spoiler alert: Reacher is fucking good. I crushed all 8 episodes in 2 days.
I gotta Google it now.
You gotta,
because all you did was you sent me a picture of like a
nude
murder
naked
victim,
fat guy nailed to a wall. I was like, dude, this is crazy. Look what I saw on the show. But it's funny because the show has
this is like Jack Reacher.
Yeah,
isn't that the fucking guy? Didn't Tom Cruise play him in like?
Yeah, but apparently there was a lot of disdain for Tom Cruise playing the guy because it's based on a series of novels, and the guy in the novels is this huge ex-military guy, and that kind of has a lot to do with his character, just like being like this fucking bull in a china shop and like fist fighting 4 guys at once and stuff. So they got the guy from Blue Mountain State who played Hawk in DC's Titans to play the Jack Reacher character, and he's awesome. I like that guy anyway. It's got very nice boy titties if you care. And, no, it was really good. But the funny thing was, it's just a regular cop procedural and stuff. And then there's just this like horrifically violent crime scene. That's what I showed Derek. Obviously, I waited for, and it's only like, it happens in episode 2. And then there's nothing like super gory again until like episode 6 or something. So it's just like, it's kind of weird because it's like if you're really into that, it gets you excited for more gore porn. But if you're totally against that, you're like, oh, I don't want to watch this show if it's gory. But it only happens like twice in the whole 8 episodes. So it's kind of like
this has to be filmed in Vancouver too.
Yeah,
right?
It might be one of those things that people will suffer from like pacing problems or stuff, since they just have that huge gore fest out of nowhere. Which I don't know. To me, I loved it because it's just like gore and then nothing. And I don't know, like, how do you feel like, do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense, Derek?
What?
Do you get what I'm saying? Like how it's weird to have gore out of nowhere. And do you think like modern audiences are able to handle that like kind of up down of viewing?
Yeah, I think it's like, especially in the like, I don't want to say prestige shows because I don't know if this is one of those, but on like streaming services now.
What's a prestige show?
Just like they're like tentpole, like,
oh yeah,
like the shows that like Amazon Prime or Netflix or give me another streaming service. Disney Plus probably doesn't have tons of nudity or gore on their shows, but that they'll like throw like multi-million-dollar budgets at to make like a show that's good, or can compete with the HBOs. And I think they can take a lot more, they can do a lot more than a lot of the networks can, right? Because you can't. So I think people are getting used to it now. Like you can actually see.
Yeah, the weird thing was it was just like so full on and then pulled all the way back again. So it's like, but I don't know. I was okay with it. And I'll just judge everybody by me as like a ruler. So everybody should be okay with it because I was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who doesn't agree with you is a fucking idiot.
Exactly.
And the show is great. Maybe I'll check it out. I'm looking for a new thing too, because I think Peacemaker is coming to an end pretty quick. Was it 8 episodes or
I can't remember,
which by the way I cannot fucking state it enough. If you're listening to this episode, like watch fucking Peacemaker. It's
could you
so
imagine
fucking good.
How jealous are you of someone who hasn't watched Peacemaker yet,
that they get to relive
have
it?
Like 7 episodes to just chew through?
Yeah.
Oh, that show's so good.
I would almost do it anyway because it's like it's so fucking good.
That's one of That's one of the few shows that I'm gonna go back and watch the whole
Did
thing
that taste
again.
like yop?
Yup.
Little, just a little hint of
Yeah.
yogurt in there.
Here's a good rule of thumb: don't drink yop and then sparkling water.
There is actually some I think it's maybe Korean, and it is that it's like a carbonated yogurt drink that you can get. Yeah, it's like, and it's decent. Like I've had it before. I think maybe it's Korean or Japanese, maybe it's Chinese. Dwayne, can you tell us? Are you still here? Are you still in the comments?
I think I know what you're talking about. Is that the stuff? Yeah, but yeah, it's not like kefir. Is kefir carbonated?
Oh yeah, kefir is kind of like that too, right? It's like yogurt, like yogurt water.
I guess it's like the fermentation makes it kind of
carbonated. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So what ended happening with this Giuliani? Like, that's just such a fucking.
It's just so random. Like Kang Jung and Robin Thicke walked off, and then I don't know if there was closure.
It said that the other two hosts, which are Jenny McCarthy, which, like, no shit, she's not gonna have she's like full like QAnon weirdo now. I don't know.
Says the pair eventually returned to join the judges, Jenny McCarthy and Nicole Scherzinger, to continue taping and stage a brief discussion with Giuliani. When asked for comment, Fox informed Variety that the production refuses to acknowledge leaks, maintaining the series' policy against confirming spoilers. Giuliani's reveal will reportedly be broadcast on an episode in March.
Like Giuliani, and this is another good example going back to like the 9/11 firefighter and policeman thing. Like Giuliani had it made in that he was America's mayor. He was like a fucking like guiding light in the aftermath of 9/11, and all the guy had to do was just like keep his fucking mouth shut, sign a book deal, write a couple books, make some like TV appearances, fucking maybe
not
like
put shoe polish in his hair,
maybe like join the board of one or two companies, maybe Pfizer and Reuters if he elected to go that way.
Yeah, exactly. Go into semi-white guy retirement.
All he had to do, he had it fucking made. Yeah. And instead, he's like, you know what I need to do? I need to burn through all this fucking goodwill and just like blow up my image and become the most irredeemable shithead, to the point where like Robin Thicke will walk off a fucking show if I appear on it. It's also, as someone who's never seen an episode of The Masked Singer, do they actually like, so they sing?
Yeah.
Do they like
full like mascot costumes? No, they sing.
They don't auto tune or any. So like my question here is like, can Rudy Giuliani actually fucking sing to the point where
maybe the show's just full of bad singers? The only reason I know what this is because when Ryan Reynolds was doing media for, I think it was the first Deadpool, because this was a TV show in Japan. It was like a contestant show in Japan before it came over here. And Ryan Reynolds sang on it in Japan as like a press thing for Deadpool. So I was like, what's this weird? Why is Ryan Reynolds dressed up? So I watched it. So what it is they sing a song, and then it used to be people tried to guess who it was, like, which star is this? Like, who could it be? And then they like pull off their mask as a reveal, and people are like, oh shit, I had no idea. But I'm with you. I might check this out for the first time of the North American whole Masked Singer, just to see what Giuliani sounds like when he sings.
Yeah, I'm legitimately curious if he was like good enough that somebody was like, oh fuck, is that like Leonard Cohen's ghost? Or
oh my god, could you imagine
it's fucking Rudy Giuliani
if he sang Leonard Cohen? Or fucking okay, what song do you want Rudy Giuliani to sing the most? That would impress you the most.
Okay, wait. Now I'm kind of thinking.
Well, not impress you because not like opera or anything, but what you would want, which would be the most badass.
Something to show like a lot of range. Or I'm just thinking like, when I think of like Giuliani's voice and his persona, like, maybe some like fucking like Tom Waits or Leonard Cohen, or like a gravelly old guy.
Yeah.
fucking who is Johnny Cash probably would
Yeah,
be
I was
fine.
gonna say
Like,
Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt.
yes,
If
fuck
fucking
yeah.
Rudy Giuliani sang that on
Could
the
you
Masked Singer,
imagine?
he'd be back in my
Rudy
good
just
books.
like breaking down it. Fuck, I hope that's the song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see
Dude,
if I can Google it.
he pulls off his mask and his hair dye's just dripping down his face, and you're like, is he crying or is that hair dye?
What did Rudy Giuliani sing on Masked Singer?
Because yeah, I would be fucking if he sang that. Or like Elvis's cover of Bridge Over Troubled Water. That would be a good one.
Yeah. Can Rudy Giuliani sing?
Also, I want to live in a world where this is the moment me and you find out that Rudy Giuliani is a trained professional opera singer. Like not even just a singer, but like an opera singer. And then you just find like you somehow right now find footage of him just singing opera and blows your tits off.
Holy shit.
What?
Not opera, but he did he was actually a very proclaimed like musical theater actor.
What?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh.
No, I don't think he has any I don't think he has any singing training at all.
You got me. I fucking
did.
believed you 100%. Egg is on my face. Am I the fool?
Boy, am I embarrassed.
Damn, I fell for that hard.
Yeah, no, I don't even know why they'd fucking put him on this show. This is the Masked Singer is going to have their own Joe Rogan moment where they're like, I'm not trying to be controversial. We just thought Rudy was an interesting person to have a conversation with. We didn't do this for ratings.
We thought the answer to bad mass singing is more mass singing to get to the root of the mass singing. They fucking I hope he dressed up as a milkshake duck.
It looks like a giant baby actually, which is like beyond terrifying. I don't know that, even like I knew this show existed, but this being like my initial foray into it, and I'm like, I don't know who would watch this or why.
Apparently it's really popular.
I don't understand like I get like being obsessed with celebrities and like liking singing, I guess, but I cannot comprehend why this show was made and why it is as popular as it is.
I think this is like Dancing with the Stars, where it's just people are just like, it's just pure.
I'm horny for famous people.
Yeah, pure uncut star fucking, where they're just like, that person's famous and he's dancing with this really famous dancer. Blah blah blah.
For famous people.
Guess what season this is in?
So like 10th?
7.
Jesus.
I think this is one of those shows that has 2 seasons a year though, because they're just like, fuck it. Let's go balls to the wall.
Hey, speaking of celebrity news, could we talk about Kanye and Kim?
Aren't they over, Derek?
Yeah, but so Kanye West is not a smart man.
Dude, he's certifiable.
And like,
insane.
I want to tell this to anyone who might be listening to this podcast. If you ever go through a divorce, you know who you are. If you ever
talking to me?
Not you. No, I'm talking to the married people who might be listening to this podcast right now.
Oh,
I'm just fucking with our guests mostly. But
our married friends.
If you ever go through a divorce, all you got to do, it's not all you got to do. You got to do lots to get through the divorce. But like the best thing for you to do is to keep your fucking mouth shut about your ex and don't say anything. Like you don't have to keep your mouth shut when you're like bitching to your friend. If you want to be like, oh, my ex is a shitty bitch.
Yeah.
And I hope they die. You can say that in the privacy of like a one-to-one conversation.
Which I still, if you're a famous person, I still wouldn't do because somebody's probably
but like Kanye, like you should never ever shit talk your ex publicly on social media.
Yeah.
And you should especially not like Kanye is just like fucking off the rails with this thing. Apparently he went like posted a ton of shit about how Kim Kardashian had like tried taking a hit out on him, or like accused him of taking a hit out on her, and like went on this like unhinged Instagram rant with all these posts, and then like ended up deleting everything because I think he had a moment of clarity where he was like, holy fuck, I look like a crazy person. But like Kim seems to be just like doing her own thing, like being healthy, moving on with her life, dating Pete Davidson or whatever the fuck. But like Kanye
getting
is
serviced
just
like, by Pete Davidson.
Yeah. But Kanye is just like fucking growing increasingly unhinged and like buying a home across the street from her and won't shut the fuck up on social media, and is like trotting out his new girlfriend routinely in like an effort to make her a thinly veiled effort to like strike back at Kim Kardashian. And Kim's just like dealing with it, and Kanye is just getting like angrier and angrier and angrier and crazier.
This is how, like, if they weren't famous, this would be one of those things where it's like the ex-wife gets a restraining order against the ex-husband, and
Wait, what?
Just like, what?
What? Kate just said Kim is a lawyer now. Is that true?
Kim's a lawyer now. Well, her dad was a lawyer.
Yeah, but Kim Kardashian went to law school?
I think so. She did a lot of like getting prisoners out of jail who were wrongfully committed when Donald Trump was in the
fucking dope. Good for her.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, this is like all like it's one of those things where it's like, how crazy do we let people be when they make good art, and how, like, because I got to bring up Joe Rogan, because Kanye West was on Joe Rogan, and when he talks, you're like, oh, this guy's just crazy.
Kim Kardashian is not a lawyer yet.
Isn't she?
No, what is pass the baby bar exam? What does that even mean?
Sounds like lawyer stuff. If only we had someone who was a lawyer who could tell
us. Has passed the law exam and moved a step closer to being able to practice as an attorney in the state of California. I mean, that's awesome. Fucking
yeah.
Maybe she's
gonna sue Kanye's dick.
Well, that's like 100%.
Yeah. I mean, she should, like, her dad was, the fuck was her dad's name?
Fucking wasn't it Robert
the guy
Shapiro?
From the
or no, it was the other, it was the guy from the OJ case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The super famous like mega lawyer dude. But yeah, no, was what I wanted. What would be awesome was if Kanye West was wearing that white rubber mask that he was wearing in Rome when he was doing all this. Remember that, when he was hiding out from the media and he met someone at a coffee shop? There's just all these pictures of him. He's like,
I'm not Kanye West. The scary fucking.
Nothing to see here. This isn't Kanye West.
Oh, apparently Kim Kardashian's father's last name is also Kardashian.
Oh, Robert Kardashian.
Could not have guessed that one.
No, I guess that all makes sense. Yeah. Wow, we should be better at knowing stuff if we're going to talk about stuff for over an hour, Derek.
So yeah, if you are ever going through a divorce, no matter how contentious it is, you will automatically gain the upper hand if your ex cannot stop running their fucking mouth online and you just say and do nothing publicly. Kanye, if you're listening to this, please sponsor us. We would love to take your money and promote your albums or your shoes or your streetwear.
Totally not ugly shoes that totally don't look like the foot equivalent of jogging pants.
Yeah, and are totally worth the egregious amount of money that people spend on them.
Yeah.
100%.
So we will wear those on camera.
Yeah. But also, if you would like to pay us in addition to promoting your goods for advice, you can do that. And our advice would be like, just shut the fuck up and go on some, like, you have more money than God. Go fucking spend like a year on a retreat in the Himalayas and like, discover yourself and find some inner peace and just like stop talking.
Okay, yeah. Here's a second piece of advice. If you can't shut the fuck up, like Derek had previously said, just don't say crazy shit.
Yeah.
Also, please release a music video of you wearing that hilarious white mask.
Yeah. And while
Yeah.
we're on it, stop hanging out with Marilyn Manson because that guy's super problematic.
Yeah, that's never helped anybody's career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Dale. What
Wait,
else we
is
got?
Kanye West a Satanist?
I wouldn't put it past the guy.
Wasn't he all like, I'm super religious now, and then he's just like hanging out with Marilyn Manson?
Kanye West is a shapeshifter, and he will
Do
basically.
you think he's a reptilian?
Do you think Marilyn Manson found God? I gotta Google really quick. I gotta do some Googling.
Fucking
Did
most eye-rolling
Marilyn
turn of events.
Manson find God? Is Marilyn Manson a Christian? Did he go to church with Kanye West? Wow, lots of people have been asking this.
Wouldn't that be crazy to go to church with Kanye West? It's like you're like, oh my god, I'm in church with Kanye West, and then you just stand there or sit there for an hour of boring church, and you're like, all right, church is so boring, even if you're with Kanye West.
Marilyn Manson has not aged particularly.
Oh, really? That's weird because he took such good care of himself.
Yeah, that's a great point.
He drank lots of water, he took his athletic greens, got plenty of sleep every night.
Should have listened to more Joe Rogan.
Didn't just do fucking hard drugs till all hours in the morning.
Should have listened to Joe Rogan.
Everybody should just listen to Joe Rogan.
What else we got, Dale? Anything left to talk about?
I had a personal request from my girlfriend to end on a lighter note instead of just talking about bad stuff, which I feel like Kanye West Mass and Rudy Giuliani singing are both upper notes, but
yeah, you're a little more fucked up than your average person.
Let's talk about Tina the turkey. So in Nakusp last summer, this like turkey just showed up and is walking around wild, and I guess Nakusp people are just like, whatever. Turkey is as turkey does, let it do whatever it wants. And they named it Tina. And it kind of became the, I guess, unofficial mascot of, where is it? Nakusp? Yeah, it's in Nakusp, BC. The town
Nakusp is a town in BC in the Kootenays, right?
Kootenays.
The Kootenays.
Well, I guess if you're gonna have a town that just lets a turkey run around, it's gonna be somewhere in the Kootenays.
It would be in the Kootenays.
Not to alienate any listeners from the Kootenays.
They're
that
very.
Place is messed up.
It's like the Deliverance.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Wrong Turn? Imagine that. Imagine hillbillies mixed with draft dodgers from the States and crazy hippies, and you put those three together in a mountain valley and just let it boil for 50 years. That's the Kootenays.
That is the Kootenays. That is Dale. That was a great description.
Thank you. So this turkey, they also think she's sort of like a guardian angel type of deal, looking out for the kids, because they said she'll, like, when people are driving too fast around the city streets, she'll just like dart out into traffic, and like the cars will like slow down instead of just, I don't know, hitting her. Like, I don't know if you've ever been on a highway and seen something dead. Like, wouldn't you want the turkey to not run out into traffic and slow people down?
So this turkey is risking its own life to save the neighborhood children.
Yeah.
But I'm confused by this, because if people are slowing down to avoid hitting a turkey,
yeah,
wouldn't they just do the same thing for a human child?
Derek, that's irrelevant.
Really, no lives are at risk here.
That's true.
The turkey, more than anything, is probably preventing people from getting to their important business meetings or serial killing or, hillbilly fucking hoedowns that they need to get to in the cusp, and is serving no valuable purpose whatsoever.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrea. Thanks for the feel good news story.
Yeah, here's a feel good news story that we're just gonna make fun of because it's people who are like, I like your point, like, oh, it's a turkey, we better slow down. Well, I guess we're just not gonna do that for kids.
No, yeah, we were striking the human children, but this turkey, we can't fuck with that.
Yeah, we can't fuck with this random wild turkey that showed up out of nowhere.
I would love to find out if this turkey is pro or against the Freedom Convoy, because you need to be one or the other. You cannot not have an opinion about this.
You know what? I'm just gonna say I think that all wild animals should be against the Freedom Convoy because I feel like all animals love keeping humans indoors as much as possible because like nothing fucks with animals more than humans just doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
And ignoring animals and like accidentally hitting them with their cars or being loud and obnoxious outdoors. Also, all the horn honking from the Freedom Convoy, no turkey likes that.
That's
They
true.
just want supreme lockdowns where you can't do anything so the animals could just walk around in the streets.
Well, do you remember the early days, like the nature is healing phase of the pandemic, where it was actually like, whoa, without all this like people fucking shit up, like animals are just going back to normal, doing animal shit. And now we're right back to being the
thank
alpha.
God.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, I love how everybody's like, oh, look, there's these dolphins in these rivers. Nature is healing and stuff. And I'm like, are we worried about the grizzly bears? Because I live in BC and there's forest fucking everywhere. And if humans aren't out being dipshits in the woods, being loud around the cities, how close are the grizzly bears going to get? Like, legitimately, my number one concern for the whole pandemic wasn't it start turning into like a zombie apocalypse. It was grizzly bears breed and multiply and then somehow start coming into the suburbs and eating people.
Yeah. That should still be everyone's biggest concern.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should support the Freedom Convoy.
Yeah, because no grizzly bears are going to come around. Okay, yeah, that's it. We're pro Freedom Convoy because it chases away grizzly bears.
Yeah.
Also, the guys who are in the Freedom Convoy, they're totally going to shoot grizzly bears for us.
I feel like this is like what humanity needs right now is like a real us against them moment for like humanity to unite around, and we can be like, hey, we are people, and despite our differences as people, we are united against this common enemy. Why not make it animals?
You know who else hates Freedom Convoys? 30 to 50 wild hogs.
That's a callback. Nice, Dale.
There you go. Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Well, that's our happy,
Wait, I want to read a paragraph from the story.
Okay.
This is in reference to the turkey. This was a quote from someone. I think she's a really good messenger of just hope and love, and that if we can all come together over a turkey that keeps us laughing and keeps our community working together to keep a creature safe, I think that there's still a lot of hope and love out there for us to have that for each other too.
You know what? That's actually a really nice message.
That's really nice. I'm trying to think of some way to make fun of it because I don't want to deal with my emotions on the podcast, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to say.
We should maybe end every episode on a positive affirmation of hope and love. But also we're going to unite humanity against animals and fuck them all up. And we're not going to have that anymore.
I love how people are just like, see that ugly fucking bird with the weird face?
Like we
love that more than each other.
The ugliest fucking bird. Like there is no uglier bird. Maybe turkey vultures, which are named after turkeys because they're also crazy fucking ugly. Just disgusting animals, and I hate looking at them. Anyways, hey everyone, thanks for joining us for this episode of Outrage Factory. I've been your co-host Derek Bolin. You can now follow me online because it is a stinking cesspool full of dumb shitheads who irritate me.
Yeah. You can follow me online at SuperDalebot on Twitter because I am still addicted to things that annoy me. The podcast Twitter is at Outragefactorypod. Follow us on Facebook if you're just listening to this. our www.facebook.com/outragefactpod.
Just slash.
It's the one. It's that one. Well,
It's the
probably
only
backwards.
slash you'll find in a web address.
Yeah, that's true.
Facebook.com/outragefactpod. Join us on usually Sunday nights when we record.
Yeah. Or Mondays, whatever.
Sometimes it's Mondays. Next week, who knows? We usually announce like 15 minutes in advance, which explains why we have such great audience size for this.
Yeah.
But you know,
hey, we had a lot of activity. It's almost bad when too many people watch it, because then you're like, what's going on in the comments? What are people saying?
Yeah.
So it's
I need to respond to these immediately.
Yeah. When nobody's in the comments, you're just like flying through all of our stuff, being super professional. And then when people are in the comments, you're like, wait, what? You say something about my boy Joe Rogan? Oh.
Nobody says that. And if you like the podcast, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts or your live streams. I think you can review us on Facebook too, maybe.
Is Joe Rogan the Nickelback of podcasting?
What?
How everybody fucking hates Nickelback apparently, but they still sell a gazillion records. Well, it feels like everybody hates Joe Rogan, but he still gets 10 million downloads.
Everyone hates Nickelback because they have like bland, shitty, generic music. Everyone hates Joe Rogan because he's a toxic shithead with awful views who promotes people with even worse views than him to an audience of 20 million people. And apparently says the N-word a lot, which
used to say it.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I used to say it. I thought we weren't going to talk about this. Sorry,
yeah, we're not. On that note, until next week,
stay angry.
Unless you're Tina, the turkey.